Lewis Hamilton finished on the podium at Silverstone, but now that podium could become the most controversial result of Ferrari's season. The FIA opened the door to a yellow flag investigation. Hamilton had already been hit with a 5-second penalty. Ferrari had already lost second place through late safety car chaos. And while Leclerc celebrated victory, Hamilton looked like a man who knew this race was far from over. That is the terrifying part for Ferrari. The car was fast. The result looked strong. But one yellow flag moment, one FIA decision, and one missed strategy call turned a possible Ferrari 1-2 into a race filled with anger, doubt, and pressure. So the real question is not whether Hamilton was quick enough. He was. The real question is whether Ferrari can protect him when the FIA yellow flags, penalties, and race chaos all collide at the worst possible moment. Because Silverstone may not be remembered as Hamilton's podium. It may be remembered as the day Ferrari discovered that speed means nothing if control disappears when it matters most. Subscribe to the channel. Editor. The first thing Ferrari had to understand at Silverstone was simple. Hamilton's problem was not speed. That is what makes this story so dangerous. If Hamilton had been slow, Ferrari could explain it away. A difficult setup, a bad balance, tires that never came alive, a weekend that simply did not suit him. Those stories are painful, but they are easy to understand. But Silverstone was not that kind of weekend. Hamilton had pace. Ferrari had pace. Leclerc had enough speed to win. And that meant every mistake became louder. That is the cruel truth about Formula One at the front. When a car is weak, errors can hide inside the bigger failure. But when a car is strong, there is nowhere for those errors to go. They stand in the middle of the race, exposed, impossible to ignore. And Hamilton's British Grand Prix became exposed almost immediately. The first warning came at the start. The FIA investigated him for a false start, and by lap 6, the decision was made. 5 seconds added to his race. 5 seconds. It sounds tiny. But in a Grand Prix, 5 seconds can become a chain around the entire strategy. It does not only punish the driver once. It follows him. It changes every gap, every overtake, every pit stop, and every calculation on the pit wall. The car can still be fast, but the race is no longer free. Hamilton was suddenly driving with a hidden debt. And that debt changed everything. Before the penalty, he could fight forward with a clear mind. After it, every move carried risk. If he pushed too hard, he could damage the tires. If he waited too long, the penalty could trap him behind rivals. If Ferrari reacted too cautiously, the race could slip away before they had a chance to rescue it. That is why the tension around Hamilton grew so quickly. Because this was not just any driver trying to recover. This was Lewis Hamilton at the British Grand Prix in a Ferrari with a car strong enough to make the podium and maybe even more. That combination creates pressure. Huge pressure. The crowd expected something emotional. Ferrari needed something convincing. Hamilton needed a result that made his red chapter feel real, not symbolic. And Leclerc at the front had already shown what the car could do when the race opened cleanly. That contrast was painful. Leclerc's race began almost perfectly. He launched well, moved ahead of Antonelli, and took the lead from the first lap. That gave him clean air, and clean air at Silverstone is one of the most valuable things a driver can have. Think of it like being the first car on an empty motorway. No traffic ahead. No disturbed air. No one forcing you to brake earlier than you want. The driver can settle into rhythm, protect the tires, and make everyone else chase. Leclerc had the race Ferrari wanted. Hamilton had the race Ferrari feared. And inside one garage, those two stories were happening at the same time. That is where the real pressure began for Ferrari. Because when one driver is leading and the other is carrying an FIA penalty, the team cannot think normally. Every decision becomes split. Protect the win, but do not abandon the recovery. Give Leclerc calm, but give Hamilton urgency. Avoid risk, but do not lose the bigger result through hesitation. It sounds simple from the outside. It is not. A Formula One pit wall lives in seconds. A call that feels obvious after the race may have been almost impossible in the moment. The team has to read tire wear, gaps, rival moves, possible safety cars, and the emotional state of two drivers who both believe they can deliver something important. At Silverstone, Ferrari had to do that while the FIA had already changed Hamilton's race. And that is why the yellow flag tension later became so important. Because once a race starts with a penalty, every interruption becomes dangerous. A yellow flag can freeze a moment at the worst time. A safety car can erase gaps that took 20 laps to build. A late incident can force the team to choose between fresh tires and track position before anyone has enough time to feel certain. Hamilton's race was moving toward exactly that kind of trap. But before the trap closed, he had to keep himself alive. That became his first mission. Not to win immediately. Not to panic. Not to force everything in one reckless burst. Just stay close enough that if Silverstone created chaos, he would still be there to use it. That is harder than it sounds. Because anger makes drivers impatient. A penalty at home in a Ferrari with the crowd watching could easily push a driver into overdriving. Every lap can feel like a personal insult. Every car ahead can feel like something stolen. Every message from the pit wall can sound too calm when the cockpit feels like fire. Hamilton had to control that. And he did. He kept the race alive. That matters more than the final classification shows. Because Hamilton's podium was not handed to him. It was built from damage. It was built from frustration. It was built from a race that kept testing whether he would break rhythm. But Mercedes did not let Ferrari breathe. Antonelli had pace, and when he passed Hamilton before Copse, it was a brutal reminder that Ferrari's result was not safe. That move was not only about position. It changed the psychology of the race. Mercedes had found a weakness. Hamilton was vulnerable. Ferrari's dream result could still be broken. From the outside, that choice can sound simple. Fresh tires are faster, so take them. But Formula One is not that easy. Fresh tires only help if there is enough racing left to use them. Track position only works if you can hold it. And under a late safety car, the wrong side of that decision can cost everything. Ferrari brought Hamilton Indiana. Russell stayed out. That was the split. And in that split, Hamilton's second place disappeared. This is why the end of the race felt so painful. Because Hamilton had done the hard part. He had not let the penalty break him. He had cleared Verstappen. He had moved into position. The race had given Ferrari a path toward the perfect result. Then the final call under yellow flag pressure changed the reward. Hamilton had fresher tires. Russell had the track position. And at the finish, Russell was the one ahead. So Hamilton finished third. Still a podium. Still a strong result. Still part of a Ferrari win. But not the result that had been available. And Hamilton knew it. That is why his frustration was so visible. It was not the emotion of a driver who had been slow. It was the emotion of a driver who had fought back, seen the result become possible, then watched it slip away through the exact kind of late race chaos that championship teams are supposed to master. This is where the story becomes bigger than Silverstone. Because Hamilton's trouble was not only the FIA penalty at the start. It was not only the yellow flag at the end. It was not only the safety car decision. It was the way all of those things stacked together and asked the same question. Can Ferrari protect Hamilton when the race stops being clean? That is the question that matters. A clean race is easy to understand. Fast car, strong driver, good start, good result. But messy races reveal the truth. Messy races show whether the pit wall reacts quickly. Messy races show whether the driver trusts the information he receives. Messy races show whether the team can keep calm when seconds matter more than speeches. And Ferrari's answer at Silverstone was mixed. They protected Leclerc's win. They protected Hamilton's podium. They did not protect the 1-2. That is the uncomfortable difference. Because for most teams, first and third at Silverstone would be a celebration without question. But Ferrari is not built for ordinary expectations. And Hamilton did not join Ferrari to be satisfied with almost perfect days. He knows what a complete race feels like. He knows what ruthless execution feels like. He knows that the difference between a great result and a championship-level result is often one decision under pressure. And at Silverstone, that decision went against him. The worst part for Ferrari is that the car had done its job. That removes the easiest excuse. Leclerc's victory proved the pace was real. Hamilton's recovery proved he had the speed and control to fight through the penalty. The result proved Ferrari were strong enough to hurt their rivals. But the late yellow flag moment proved something else. Ferrari still has to sharpen the operation around Hamilton. Not because the team failed completely. Because the team succeeded enough for the missed opportunity to matter. That is a dangerous place to be. When a team is slow, everyone focuses on upgrades. When a team is fast, everyone focuses on execution. And execution is judged with no mercy. One missed chance under a virtual safety car earlier in the season. One race where Hamilton's global positioning system information was lost. One Silverstone penalty that forced recovery. One yellow flag and safety car call that cost second. Different moments, same feeling. Hamilton needs certainty. He needs to believe that when chaos arrives, Ferrari is already thinking one step ahead. He needs to believe that if an FIA decision damages his race, the team can still rescue the maximum. He needs to believe that if yellow flags appear late, The pit wall will protect not just a result, but the best possible result. That belief is not built with promises. It is built with decisions. And Silverstone gave Ferrari a decision Hamilton will remember. The final result says Ferrari finished first and third. But Hamilton's memory will be more detailed than that. He will remember the penalty. He will remember the recovery. He will remember Verstappen. He will remember Antonelli retiring. He will remember the safety car. He will remember Russell staying out. He will remember second place disappearing. And he will remember whether Ferrari learns from it. Because this is the stage Ferrari has reached now. The car is fast enough for mistakes to hurt. The drivers are strong enough for expectations to rise. The rivals are watching closely enough that every weakness becomes a target. And when the FIA yellow flags and strategy all collide in one race, Ferrari cannot afford to look unsure. That is the real danger behind Hamilton's British Grand Prix. Not that he lacked pace. Not that Leclerc carried the team alone. Not that Ferrari failed to win. Ferrari did win. That is what makes the warning sharper. They won and still left Hamilton frustrated. They took a podium and still left a bigger result behind. They proved the car can fight and still proved that chaos can damage them. And if Ferrari wants this season to become more than a handful of strong weekends, that has to change. Because the next time Hamilton faces an FIA investigation, the next time yellow flags appear, the next time a safety car compresses the field, the next time one call decides everything, Ferrari will not be judged by whether they survive. They will be judged by whether they control it.